The law commenced. Oh, if my appearance is a little strange, I have a pretty good explanation for it, but it's kind of hard to believe. It involves the Nesty Intelligence, Lucha Libre, El Rey Network, and a lot of ice cream. Let's just leave it at that, because you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But speaking of which, that brings me to today's review. This is the Doctor Who Doctor's Visited set. But we're talking about one story in particular. That's Doctor Who Spearhead from Space, which is the third Doctor story chosen here on Disc 3, starring Jon Pertwee. And it's probably the Doctor Who story that I've seen the most of. I think if it wasn't that, it was the Satarans. But I think this is was the first classic Doctor Who story I ever watched. But I believe Spearhead from Space is probably the one I've watched the most. In this story, this is the first time we see the third Doctor, who has just been regenerated from Patrick Troughton to Jon Pertwee. Also, the various tropes used, like this is the first time the Doctor actually steals clothes from a hospital, and that's what becomes his suit. This is the first time we meet the Autons, which was the monster brought back. Actually, I think the first class of monster brought back in the Doctor Who canon. And the Nestine consciousness, which controls everything. And this is also where the Doctor ends up becoming a member of UNIT. Overall, I can't really say enough good things about the story. This is a really good story, and I believe you can actually watch the entire story on YouTube. I don't know who put it up, but someone actually put up a bunch of the Jon Pertwee stories on YouTube. I don't know if they're still up as of this recording, but hopefully they are. If they are, I'd recommend checking it out. Also, Spearhead from Space is notable because it's the only classic Doctor Who story that's ever been released on Blu-ray. I don't know if I'll ever pick that up on Blu-ray or not. We'll see. But overall, this is one I can't recommend enough. I say if you're getting into Doctor Who and you want to start at a really good one, I can't very well recommend one story for each Doctor because I haven't seen them all, but I'd say for the third Doctor, to quote the King of Hearts, begin at the beginning, and when you come to the end, stop. So begin at the third Doctor's regeneration story if you're just getting into the classic Doctor Who series, Spearhead from Space. On my scale from 1 to 5, this story gets a 5 every time. You got a creepy monster, a new Doctor. For you gearheads out there, you got a classic car. And this shows the first time the Doctor ever traveled in anything other than TARDIS. So this is pretty cool. It's got a James Bond-esque flavor, and as it goes through the series, with Jon Pertwee specifically, you see more of the martial arts aspect of it. As the third Doctor is revealed to be a master of Venetian Aikido, and I believe one of the few two-armed individuals that's mastered this particular fighting style. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan, or even if you're just new to, if you're only seeing the modern Doctor Who and you want to check out the new Classic Who series, where to start. I'd say you want good. If you're a James Bond fan or an Austin Powers fan, you want some good action, a little action espionage mixed with sci-fi, then yeah, the third Doctor's era, Jon Pertwee's era is where you want to start. So yeah, I definitely recommend Spearhead from Space. Until next time, adios, amigos. Sayonara. Until next time, good night.